Let's start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the dying polar bears of the Arctic, and to the ice for which it melts, one world, underwater, with pain and suffering for all. And now for a moment of despair. From 1993 to 2016, 23 years total, a combination of 413 tons of ice has been lost each year. Since 1950, the number of record-high events in the United States has increased, while the number of record lows has decreased. Since the Industrial Revolution, the acidity of ocean waters has increased by 30%. Global warming and climate change have been linked numerous times with human interference in the greenhouse effect, which is the trapping of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases in Earth's atmosphere. The burning of fossil fuels has increased the concentration of carbon dioxide in our atmosphere. According to the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, a body of the UN, there is a 95% probability that humans have caused global warming over the past 50 years. There is a greater than 95% probability that human-produced greenhouse gases have attributed to Earth's warming over the past 50 years. There is evidence that shows global warming is not caused by the sun's energy. Since 1750, the average amount of energy from the sun has remained constant or increased only slightly. The warming of the atmosphere is only observed in the lower layers. The upper layers of the atmosphere are actually cooling. Solar irradiance changes cannot produce the temperature trend from the past century without including a rise in greenhouse gases. Global temperatures will only rise for decades to come due to human greenhouse gas emissions. Drought and heat waves are going to become more intense. Hurricanes will become stronger and more intense. Sea levels will rise 1 to 4 feet by 2100. The Arctic Ocean is expected to become ice-free in summer before 2050, 31 years from now. Our activity on Earth is assassinating it. We are told to focus on the future, the time ahead of the present which we expect to be there. It will not be there for us. If we do not take action to try to curb the release of greenhouse gases, our future will not exist. As sea levels rise, salt water introduces itself to Florida's Everglades. Native species struggle to adapt to this change. Ancient forests across the tropics are being destroyed to make room for palm oil plantations. When these forests are destroyed, they release the carbon they trapped in their tissues, contributing to further global warming. Lakes are drying out across the world. In Bolivia, what was once the country's second largest lake is now a large bed of dried soil. A critical bird habitat in Iran is drying up. The Amazon is losing the equivalent of 1 million soccer fields of forest each year. When the forest is destroyed, it releases carbon, furthering global warming. In the past 2 years, 50% of the Great Barrier Reef has died. The warming of the ocean by just 1 degree has caused the coral to starve to death. Wildfires plague the West Coast. This is due to extreme drought and dry conditions. Polar bears are suffering because of our refusal to accept climate change and global warming as our own fault. We have to do something to stop these disastrous effects of our actions. We no longer have time to debate if global warming is a hoax or not. By an overwhelming amount of evidence, it is not a hoax. We cannot stand passively waiting for the Earth to fix itself. We are past that point. We must demand action from our politicians and governments to find solutions to save every animal, plant, ecosystem, habitat, and human.